Now let's get into step 2 continued around launching. This is all about how we're going to get you and your offer in front of your future clients. So this should look familiar, the launch cycle, right? Step 1, we've got the pre-launch. This is that time that you're going to spend building the buzz and anticipation for your upcoming launch, for your conversion event, right? So 2 weeks is good, longer is better, right? So this is that period where you're going to get people to register for your conversion event as well. So the pre-launch is just about whatever topic you have. I want you to go all in with it and share all the value and send invitations for people to come to your conversion event. And then we have step 2, which is the actual launch. This is where we have those open and closed enrollment dates, right? So we can open doors from anywhere from 5 days to 2 weeks, what have you. We have our conversion event. We're creating excitement around all of our topic and all that stuff. And we're bringing in those new clients before the doors close. So, and then I also want you to think of the launch period also having that time to follow up with people. So maybe they came to your conversion event, but they didn't enroll. So, you can hop on the phone with them or have a connection call, dig in further with what their unique issue is so that you can address those concerns and, move them into your offer as well. So step 3, after the launch is complete and whatnot, then it's the post-launch phase. So we're not done yet, right? I know there's a lot that goes in with this, but the post-launch is very important. This is where you're going to follow up. You're going to, with people who didn't join, maybe move them into your wait list for the next time or what have you, or maybe they become private clients or come into one of your other offers because the one you gave wasn't the right one they wanted at the time. Your post-launch is where you're gathering feedback. What worked great? What didn't? What are the lessons learned that it takes to so that you can make your conversion event even better next time? So for example, I had a 5-day challenge and I went deep with teaching coaches how to do their signature coaching method. Well, what I found was the highest attendance days were around creating your signature offer and branding and stuff like that. So that I decided my next one based on the data is I'm just going to do a 3-day challenge and I'm going to focus it around creating a signature offer. So I want to simplify it, make it easier for people to get wins. That's one example of how I took one launch and then, I'm driving that forward for my next one. So remember, the post-launch is also where you're kicking your program off. Your offer, is with a bang. Like you want to go all in and get everyone onboarded and get moving, right? And then step 4 is the nurture phase. So when you're not launching, we should just be nurturing, not ghosting any of our audience and stuff like that, but sharing value, engaging with the community, setting the foundation for your next launch, getting people on a wait list, that kind of stuff, okay? And then that sets the stage for when you go to launch again, it's so much easier because you already have the audience and you've had people who've experienced you and all that kind of stuff. So every time you do it, it gets easier, I promise. All right, so the pre-launch, I want to talk specifically on the pre-launch phase. So the visibility strategies around the pre-launch. So your pre-launch is about picking the type of conversion event that you want to host to enroll your clients into your coaching offer. So by now you've picked what coaching offer you're going to launch, the pricing, the payment plan. You have a way for them to pay you to get enrolled, all that kind of stuff. So now we're going to go and we're going to pick the conversion event. And there's a whole list of different types of conversion events in your go-to coach method checklist. I'm also going to do training on each type of conversion event, all that kind of stuff. But say for your conversion event, you want to do a masterclass, right? You're going to do an hour-long masterclass. And so I have to pick my topic. I have to name it. You want to name it something as compelling as possible. You want to also decide on the date and time of the masterclass and get it on your calendar, right? That's the first thing. So knowing it takes at least 2 weeks to nurture. If for your first one, if you could do your first conversion event around like a month from now or what have you, then we can back into it. So during the time where you pick your conversion event, and maybe yours is a challenge, maybe it's a live event, maybe it's a summit, whatever you want to do, pick it, give it a topic name, and then get a date and time, get it on your calendar. And then I also want you to take this time to create a way for people to register for the event so that they get email and text reminders, right? Some people will register for an event and then life happens, and they forget about it. So we have to send at least, 3 to 4 reminders so that they'll show up for the event, because it's a matter, show up rate's important. People who attend live are more likely to enroll with you. There are people that will watch the recordings and enroll, but that's why I like the live event strategy, because there's a lot of excitement and energy around that. So we want them to show up live when possible. All right. And then once we have that date, we want to start working backwards from there. All right. So that's all the pre-launch. And of course, also in the pre-launch, we're like sharing marketing and we're sharing value around the topic. So if you're doing a topic on eating healthy to lose weight, you want to talk specifically around that in your pre-launch phase. You don't want to be talking about exercising and running. Like, it's confusing, right? This is specific. We want to be not confusing people. And it's just, until you're sick of it, talk about the topic for the month or whatever period you're giving yourself for the pre-launch, and double down with it, and always be giving those invitations for your conversion event. Okay. So that's pre-launch. Now we're in launch. So now we're in launch. So that is all about creating visibility by showing up consistently for a minimum of 2 weeks. More is better, right? If you can do a month, that's better, on your dedicated marketing platform, specifically around that topic for your conversion event. Okay. Like I gave you the example, before. So we really want to be focused on that topic. So, because those are going to be the people who are then like, I want that. I need to hear that. I want to come to this event. This sounds cool. So the goal in launch is to create buzz around your topic and extend plenty of invitations to join the conversion event. Okay. So launch, is when it's go time. When possible, I want you to think about having a real conversation with any attendee that signs up for your conversion event. Have a conversation with them before the event when possible, because it builds more trust much faster, and it gives you the chance to potentially pre-enroll clients as well. So this may not be possible for your first launch. However, I've done it when I've launched different things or whatever, because sometimes it's not as many numbers. So you can, reach out to everyone. Hey, before the event, let's have a connection call. I want to get to know more about you. I want to learn about, the struggle and all that kind of stuff. So when you can do that, it totally accelerates the trust building, and then is more likely that they feel comfortable working with you. Okay. So, and pre-enrollments are great, because sometimes if you have a launch, people may want to go on the wait list for the next launch, and you can send out pre-enrollment invitations for that. And it's great to start a launch with already having paying clients, right? That gets easier as you launch more and more. All right. Okay. Also with launching, I want you to build anticipation around your event. I want you to communicate before the event via email, text, direct messages on social media posts, all that kind of stuff. I want it to be like, oh my gosh, like when I think of this coach, all I do is think about how, she helps with XYZ, right? That's what we want, right? So it's kind of like an eagle circling in the sky, right? Like it knowing, that it has somewhere it wants to go. I want you to think of that. Okay. And and just sending those invitations, honestly, when I've had master classes in the past or what have you, I fill them by also sending, direct messages or text with people, or, asking people who they know that might want to come and stuff like that. So now I also run ads and stuff like that, but that isn't something you have to do right away. Even if you have 3 people on your conversion event, that is 3 people interested in what you have to teach and offer. All right. So also during launch, I want you to test your technology. Make sure, whether it's the Zoom or if you're going to do breakout rooms or if you're going to do this or that, make sure that that is working. If you're using a new webinar software, don't use the webinar to actually launch that. You can also ask a friend, or maybe if you have a virtual assistant, which would be fine too, but asking a friend, a fellow coach or a friend to be the eyes and ears during the event. Okay. So they maybe are managing the chat, or they're the go-to person, what have you. And then I want you to host your conversion event, right? This is the time that you're going to host it. You're going to give massive value and invite those attendees to join your coaching offer. Okay. don't hold back on the invitation to join. It would be unfair of us as coaches to move them along, give all this value, do this, and not give them a way to get the result, that's what comes with working with you. All right. And this was something, when I first started doing this, I struggled with it. It was like, I'm great at teaching. I love giving value, but something felt weird when I had to transition into the sales pitch. I don't even think of it like that. I think of it like, it's invitation time. Right. And so I always say, with permission, I'd love to work with you, and here's how we can do that. And then you go into it. I share the benefits, not the features, the benefits being the results they're going to get with working with you. All right. Not it's 3 months, it's 12 coaching calls. It's that stuff's important and you should address it, but really lean in with the benefits, the emotional, the feelings of how they're going to feel when they're done working with you. All right. So you're going to give that. So say you're doing a masterclass and it's an hour long, maybe first 45 minutes is massive value. Then you transition to the offer, and then you give them the link, or your friend or virtual assistant pops that link in the chat. And then you also follow up via email with the links and stuff like that, so that they can enroll themselves, right? Knowing that they have this limited time to do it, because if not, then either the price goes up, whatever you choose to do. If the price goes up, or maybe the bonuses go away, or however you want to do it that feels an integrity to you, is totally fine. All right. So we're going to host your conversion event. You're going to give value. It's a great, beautiful thing. And you're going to extend that invitation to work with you further. All right. Okay. So now we've got through launch. Now it's post-launch. I want you to follow up with those who have, for those who didn't attend, you can send them a recording or another resource to add value, as well as giving them the invitation. This is invitation time, right? So invitation, I want you to also follow up with attendees, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, maybe, I don't know. They have questions and they feel stupid. They don't want to ask you or whatever. So you can follow up. Hey, what'd you think? What was your biggest takeaway? That kind of stuff. Start conversations. Hop on, calls if you need to with them, or do consultations or discovery sessions or whatever you call them, connection calls, at this time too, to get people in. There's excitement. This energy is good, right? I want you to, again, have real conversations with people who didn't choose to enroll. And that's okay. Just know it's okay that they didn't enroll, right? Because now you're going to position them for the next time. You don't have to, we're not hard selling anyone into working with us, right? What you're doing is, you're going to learn something like, they were confused about this. Next time I do it, I need to explain that better, right? You're going to learn so much. And remember, this is just an experiment. All of marketing is an experiment. And that's what this is all about. So, and then ultimately in the post-launch, we're going to onboard those people who did enroll. And I want you to onboard them as soon as possible. And then the excitement is so high when they, when they first enroll, that you can ask, hey, do you have any friends, like-minded friends that you'd want to do this program with, or anyone else and I'd love to chat with them, and see how I can help them and give them some value and stuff like that. Great time to ask for referrals. Okay. And then after that, the last phase. So now the launch is, we're done. We're serving our clients. This is all about the nurture phase. So after the launch, again, don't ghost your audience and just be like, I'm exhausted. I need to take 3 weeks off and just lay in bed and depending on how you manage your energy. I know based on your human design, projectors, sometimes manifestors, that kind of stuff, we need a little time. You can build that in. Take your day, whatever, take a week, but just auto schedule some content out there so that you're not, automated emails that are going to go out, or some Facebook or Instagram posts or whatever, so that no one feels ghosted, right? And for those people who didn't enroll, that's okay. They just need more time to decide. They don't know you well enough yet, and that's okay. Those people are likely, sometimes it's taken, I've had people on 10 master classes, and then finally the 11th, they decide to work with me. Everyone is at their own pace. It's not our place to judge when they feel like it's a heck yes, I want to work with you, coach. All right. Sometimes people need to sit in their pain a little bit more, to be honest, before they're willing to, to solve it. And that's okay. Right. It's nothing personal. And then we want to complete those lessons learned from the conversion event. And here's the real thing, probably the thing that is going to be like, I can't believe I got to do this. Set the date and time for the next one. Okay. Do that as quickly after your launch as possible. So then it's on the calendar. You can have then you'll be in your nurture phase, and then you'll ramp up again to the pre-launch. Okay. In the nurture phase, give value, continue to add that value, which I know you love to do. Give call to actions to do something. Maybe it's let's chat. Maybe they're a fit for another program. Maybe, it's simply, whatever. It could just be putting emojis, as the comments, but we want to get people acting on something. Continue to inspire. I know you like to inspire. So as a coach, inspire, get people on the waiting list for either your next conversion event or a waiting list for your program when you open it up again, right? So just do your normal marketing strategies, use the methods that you're willing to show up consistently for and all that kind of stuff. And then remember, we're ramping up those activities during launch. Okay. All right. So let's dive deeper into each area of your smart marketing to launch and nurture. So the first area we're going to dig deep into is traditional marketing. And so I'm going to explain to you what traditional marketing means, but then ultimately every area of traditional marketing of marketing methods that work for coaches, I'm going to do a separate video on. So you can look right at those. If you want to be a speaker, you go to, the Speak on Stages module and learn more about how to do that and all that kind of stuff. So traditional marketing is honestly one of my favorites because it still works really, really well. All right. So in all of this, it's not to overwhelm you. It is to give you your options and choices. I believe every coach knows what's going to work for them and what's going to work for the clients that they want to serve. And that's what, you then take what you want and then just kind of think of the rest of it as putting a pin in it and focusing on the things that you're committed to doing consistently. All right. You can always experiment and try some other things later. But for now, I want you to really be listening for those things you're like, oh yeah, this definitely sounds like a great way that I can get visibility in front of my ideal clients. All right.